The scent of old wood and dust filled the air as Maya climbed the creaking attic stairs of her grandmother's house. Shafts of late afternoon sunlight pierced through the slats in the gabled roof, illuminating swirling particles like golden snow. The attic hadn't been touched in decades, its corners cluttered with forgotten boxes, cracked trunks, and yellowed newspapers stacked in careless piles. She wasn't supposed to be up here. Her mother had warned her it was unsafe, full of rotting beams and memories better left alone. But boredom and curiosity had always been a dangerous mix for Maya Dot as she wandered deeper. Her foot struck something solid under the floorboards, a hollow sound beneath the wood. Heart quickening, she knelt and peeled away a loose plank. Nestled inside was a small, leather-bound journal, brittle with age and tied shut with a faded red ribbon. A fine layer of dust clung to its surface, but beneath it, the initials CM were still faintly embossed in gold dots. She hesitated, then untied the ribbon and flipped it open. The handwriting was delicate, hurried in places. The first page read, April 3rd, 1975. I don't know how much longer I can pretend everything is fine. She's still missing. No one is asking the right questions. But I think I know who was the last to see her. If anything happens to me, this journal is proof. Maya's fingers trembled as she turned the page. Each entry unraveled more than just teenage thoughts. They whispered of secrets, fear, and a girl named Clara who had once lived, breathed, and vanished. And as the wind rattled the attic window, Maya realized one thing with chilling certainty. This wasn't just a diary. It was a breadcrumb trail through a mystery someone had tried to bury, and somehow it had found its way to her. The following days blurred into obsession, every moment Maya could spare. She was back in the attic or hunched over the journal beneath, the glow of her desk lamp, piecing together Clara's fragmented thoughts. The entries grew darker with time mentioning hushed conversations, strange phone calls, and shadows that lingered too long outside her window. Clara had clearly been scared. But of what or who? One name kept appearing in the entries, Margaret Holloway, a retired teacher. Maya checked the school records online as Holloway had once taught literature. Still alive. Still living in town. Maya decided to pay her a visit. The old woman's eyes had clouded with age, but her memory remained sharp. At the mention of Clara's name, her expression shifted, nostalgia giving way to a flicker of unease. She was a bright girl, Miss Holloway murmured. Too bright, maybe. Always asking questions, ones no one dared answer back then. Maya started visiting the town library, combing through archived newspapers. No record of Clara's disappearance. No obituaries. No missing person flyers. It was as if Clara had been erased. That night, Maya showed the journal to Eli, a classmate from school and the only person she trusted. He was skeptical at first until he saw the final entries written in different handwriting. Shaky, panicked, Eli noticed something else. Scattered among Clara's words were odd markings, symbols that repeated, a pattern, a code. This isn't just a diary, he whispered. It's a map. She was trying to leave something behind. Together, they decoded a phrase buried in one of the last pages. Under the red door where secrets sleep. They didn't sleep that night. The next morning, they found it an old, rusted shed with a red door behind the abandoned wing of the high school. Half collapsed and covered in ivy, it hadn't been touched in years. The lock was gone. Inside, Beneath warped floorboards and the scent of mildew, they found a small tin box, and inside it, a letter addressed to Clara's friend. If you're reading this, then something went wrong. The words were faded, but the meaning was clear. Clara had discovered something someone didn't want her to, and Maya was now walking the same dangerous path. Something wasn't just buried, it was still watching. The letter changed everything, It wasn't just a warning. It was a confession, Clara had written it days before her final journal entry, addressed to someone named M. The letter spoke of a man respected, powerful, and dangerous. Clara believed he was involved in the disappearance of her best friend Lily, another girl whose name had never been recorded in any public record. But what chilled Maya the most was the last line. He works at the school. If I disappear, it's because he found out I know. A cold silence settled over Maya and Eli as they reread the letter. Clara hadn't just vanished. She had been silenced, suddenly. The journal went missing, Maya had left it hidden in her room beneath a loose panel in the closet floor. When she came home from school the next day, it was gone, no signs of forced entry. No mess, nothing else taken, just the journal. But the next morning, it reappeared back in its hiding spot, untouched. Only one person could have taken it and put it back. Someone who wanted her to know they were watching. The air in the house changed. Doors creaked open at night. A car idled outside her window too long before vanishing down the street. Even Eli noticed someone trailing them after school, a man in a beige coat who seemed to disappear whenever they tried to get a closer look. Maya's heart pounded. Every time she turned a corner, at school, a name from Clara's letter surfaced again. Mr. Hargrove. Now in his late 60s, he was a former administrator who had returned recently as a substitute counselor. Calm, soft-spoken, respected. He always smiled. When he saw Maya, too kindly, too knowingly, and when she asked him casually about Clara Mayfield, his expression didn't change. But his reply sent a chill through her. Some stories are better left forgotten. Maya, don't dig up what's meant to rest. Her name. He knew Maya could feel it. She was getting too close. The final pages of the journal, decoded with eyelids, hope pointed to a place hidden deep beneath the school. An old access tunnel sealed off for years, once used for maintenance and storage. No one spoke of it anymore. No one went down there, but Claire had, and now Maya would too. Late one Friday evening, with the journal hidden safely in her backpack and LA standing watch outside, Maya slipped into the basement of the school through a back entrance. The air grew colder with every step as she descended the crumbling stairs. The flashlight in her hand flickered, then steadied. Dust choked the hallway. Old pipes lined the walls like ribs in the belly of some sleeping beast. At the end of the corridor, a rusted door. She pushed inside, a forgotten room, concrete walls, old school files scattered, and on one of the walls, faded writing in red ink. Lily was here. He found her. A torn piece of cloth, stained, lay in the corner, and beside it a locket. The initials inside matched those of Lily's full name, which Maya had only discovered days earlier through library records never digitized. This was it. Proof Clara had been here. Proof something terrible had happened. Suddenly, the door slammed shut. Maya spun around, heart in her throat. Locked. Trapped. A voice echoed from the other side. Mr. Hargrove. You just couldn't let it go, could you? Neither could Clara. That's what got her killed. Maya's breath caught. He had never said Clara was dead. No one had. She wanted justice, Maya called out. She wanted the truth. The truth, he sneered, was always too heavy. For girls like her, and you're no different. But she was. She had recorded everything, the conversation. His confession on her phone, which streamed live audio to Eli, who was still outside, listening, and already calling the police. Sirens in the distance. Hargrove heard them too. Don't understand what you've done, he growled. No, Maya whispered. You don't understand what's finally over. The door burst open as officers arrived, and just like that, the man who had haunted the shadows of a small town for decades was dragged into the light. The headlines came fast. Cold case reopened after teen uncovers decades-old truth. Retired. Educator arrested in connection with 1975 disappearance. The town that once prided itself on silence was now filled with whispers, news vans, and long overdue apologies. Clara's name was spoken again, this time not as a rumor, but as a victim, as a hero. Her journal, once buried in dust and fear, was now part of a criminal investigation. DNA from the locket, paired with the confession Maya had recorded, helped the authorities locate what had long been hidden in a shallow grave outside town. Clara hadn't just been right, she had been brave. Maya stood at the edge of the field. Days later, a cold breeze brushing past her. The sun was rising soft gold, stretching across the grass. She held the journal in her hands one last time before handing it over to Clara's surviving sister. She never stopped trying to be heard, Maya said, and now she finally is. Back at school, things changed. The basement was sealed permanently. Mr. Hargrove's name was erased from plaques and records. A mural was painted in the library, Clara's face, surrounded by wildflowers next to the words, "Truth doesn't die. It waits to be found." Maya didn't need the spotlight. She'd done what she had to, but sometimes, late at night, she'd still hear the creak of the attic stairs, still smell the old wood and dust, still remember the moment that changed everything. A dusty journal, girl no one remembered, and a truth no one could silence anymore.